Hey guys, so it's a fair but breezy day out today, and we've got our sides all done for the house. They're at least piled up behind me here. So there's two piles of 9 walls each, and that's the total of 18 walls that we need. So before we can put those up, we really need to get our roof situation resolved. I have two pieces of 20-inch pipe sitting on the pallet here, and those are going to need to be cleaned up, and these will be the central support for the trusses to sit up against. So I need to assemble this. Okay, this part that I'm building right now is kind of hard to describe, and maybe doesn't come out too clearly for some people, but this is a computer drawing representation of that part right here, the blue thing. The part below is just a column that I've got as kind of a placeholder for some dimensions, but gives you an idea where this is placed. And I'm going to turn off this rendering for it here. So now you can just see it as a line drawing, and then I can add things back into it. So show the roof again on here. Let's see. So there's our floor system right there, and put the dummy walls up. And there's the trusses all put in place, and you can see the blue object still in the middle of this. And you can see how all the trusses butt up against it. And I can, this is really going to look horrible, but something I'm used to working in is this kind of a drawing environment, but I mean, you can see all the trusses going up to this center part right here. So that's basically how it works. You're just going to have the trusses laying up against this center part, and then everything eventually will be held up in the air just by that, by all the sets of trusses around this blue object. And this blue object is called a compression ring because obviously the trusses all are compressed against it. And I just go to a plan view. You can see how it's the blue object, the compression ring is in the center of all of this. I just go to a different view of the house. Then you can see how the trusses run into the compression ring up the top. So that'll make things a little easier to understand. I've had this whole drawing that shows everything from our pier system to the floor system. There's some dummy walls put in here just to kind of reduce some of the confusion and things. And then the main rafters, there's going to be 18 of them going to each corner of the wall, and then there'll be an additional 18 of them up the middle of each wall. That'll make up kind of a pie shape. So what's easy on this house is basically everything is reproduced 18 times. Everything's dimensionally the same on each section of it, so all I have to do is get one section right, and all the rest of them pretty well follow along. I have some pieces of tubing here that's going to be used to separate those two pieces of pipe. So first I want to go ahead and cut these corners off at a 45-degree angle. That'll give me access inside here where the trusses will be attached, and also get rid of this sharp corner off of here. We will have 36 trusses that meet in the middle of the house at this piece of pipe here. Actually, it'll be 2 pieces of pipe, but you'll see what that is after we get the structure built. I made a full-size scale drawing in CAD with our rafter locations where the centers are. That prints out accurately enough so that I can just go ahead and mark these centers around this. We'll put some holes in here, and that'll end up supporting the 3 pieces of tube that support these pipes, and then also give us a place to screw into the trusses to hold them in place. I guess this is why they call it rolling it the hard way. Finished rolling the flange that we're going to put onto our center support, and have to cut off the salvage ends of these things since the roller won't form this part out here, but I got enough halves here to put the flange together the way I want to, and we just got to cut these off, weld it together, and then put it onto the center support. Okay, I've got that band that I fabricated welded onto the bottom of our tube here, and ultimately all of our trusses will be screwed into these holes down at the bottom. There'll be larger lumber than this, obviously, but there'll be 36 of these trusses going around the outside, all of them going from the walls and pushing against the central support, which will ultimately hold it up in the air. And it is a sizable structure. The next phase of the story is we got to get this thing 14 feet up in the air and supported, so we can start putting the trusses up against it. And that's going to involve central support to hold it up, and that of course is going to be the next story. And I got a pretty good start on it already, but got to do a little finish work on it, and that'll be in the next video. Got some red oxide primer on our compression ring, and that's usually a sign of a project is kind of completed once you got paint on it. So we're about ready to go on this thing to get it out to the mountain and start building the house with it. Thank you for watching, and thank you for subscribing. See you.